Hey, Loco sports fans, welcome. Tuesday night edition of the Loco Sports Lowdown, brought to you as always by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, our all-star sponsors. Mickelson Law Firm been with us since the beginning, our official real estate closing attorney, presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, but you can call on them for all your legal needs. And WHHI TV, our partner in local sports. And we got our good friend Marcus Walsh, who does the old two-step, the Loco two-step with Loco and WHHI, joining us tonight as we are talking playoffs, boys. Last night we couldn't get together for the tip-off of the high school basketball playoffs because we had USCB games, and they went deep into the night because we were waiting on a ref who was waiting on a 18-wheeler to get moved off the interstate, and so we had a whole ordeal. We had to wait for a ref, late start.
And of course, it was the game that got postponed twice already because of weather. And,
so it was a cursed game against
gotta love it.
Yep.
Sounds like the start of a country song.
Yeah, pretty much.
On a riff.
It was, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it was something else. It's one of the things about sports. You never know what you'll see. There's always something new. And last night we were delayed. I mean, we've seen that before. In fact, it's happened to USCB women 3 times this year. They've had 3 games.
Yeah, that's right.
Delayed all of my roots. I showed up in boots.
Ruined your black tie affair.
Yeah.
Last one to know.
That would be right.
We don't want to sing anymore. We might have to pay some rights or something. But great song, as we all know, especially with the extra verse. But we got 2 nights now of high school basketball playoffs in the can. And dwindling already, although we did okay tonight. We did
pretty good.
3 teams through tonight. I think we got 3 through last night too, right? So
yeah,
we got 6 left in it after round 1, I guess.
And the teams,
so we'll dive into that.
Yeah, it's the teams we expected to get through anyway. So
yeah. No big surprises.
May River
May River was a mild upset. Losing.
Yeah.
Although it's Darlington.
I think
Darlington always comes here and seems to upset
and as I understand it, May River was without KJ. So
that's a big loss.
Yeah, that would explain a couple things.
Max,
there.
what did you say that Ridgeland Carver's Bay score was?
Ridgeland unfortunately lost to the 22-4 Carver's Bay, who's ranked 4th in Division 1. 83-45 was the final score. It was 39-28 at one point, and thought if Ridgeland could hold on, maybe they could come back in the game. But Carver's Bay ran away with it in the second half, and that was that.
That was that, indeed.
But on the plus side for Jasper County area, obviously Hardyville got the win tonight. After being down 8 at the start of the 4th quarter, they came back and then laid the smackdown on Johnsonville to get the 65-51 win over Johnsonville. So they will be playing Carver's Bay on Saturday. I do not know what time that is, but it's, of course, not a home game. They will have to go on the road up to Hemingway, South Carolina, to take on probably one of the toughest teams in 1A right now in Carver's Bay.
Yeah, that's a long haul, boy.
That's a long haul for a game where
that's what they wanted. The alternative was moving on to next season.
You get a couple of extra days of practice, and you never know.
And the funniest thing was, looking at the score at halftime between Carver's Bay and Ridgeland, I was like, Ridgeland's hanging in there, and I was like, if they find a way to somehow, some way, which I didn't think it was going to happen, but somehow, some way come back and try to eke out a win, we would have been talking about potentially having the rivalry Ridgeland-Hardyville at the Hurricane Alley at the Ville on Saturday night, which would have been fun to think about because that place would have been packed. But things did not go that way.
Could have had Ridgeland-Hardyville, could have had Bluffton May River.
That Carver's Bay team is a absolute train wreck waiting to happen. Just an absolute. They're a freight train. They're going to run into someone, and unfortunately, I think Hardyville will put up a fight on Saturday against Carver's Bay. But I just that Carver's Bay team, I've seen some film. They're very strong.
Indeed. Looking for some more scores, but I do have a bunch that I'm trying to get us into a ticker here. So give me a little bit of time, but in the meantime, last night we had some high school playoffs. tipping off, we had Battery Creek boys surviving against Marlboro County, 62-60. Yeah, close one at home.
Jeez.
So they'll advance and they'll go to Fox Creek on Friday. I know Ethan Cox had a double-double in that one, 18 and 10.
Nice.
Taiwan Simmons had 18. So
Nice.
good win for Battery Creek to advance to round 2. In 2A, Hampton County boys advanced 74-54 over Lake City, and Whale Branch was bounced by Philip Simmons 70-30.
Yeah, I'll say this about Hampton County. I think out of all the teams, I think Hampton County is the team I'm most confident in to make it deep into the playoffs.
I think it's pretty,
especially after that score. I mean, I know,
and especially
Hampton
after
been
tonight.
pretty much laying the smack down on just about everyone.
Had to fight and claw their way to the very end and just find a way to survive and move on. But
exactly,
I'm this Bluffton team, they have potential of if everything clicks, they're able to get going at a high rate. But I mean, it took a lot from Harry Skinner just to win this one against South Aiken. So
I thought they would have been able to handle South Aiken a little bit better tonight than they did, and they really. I mean, honestly, with it being that close, for me, especially with how Bluffton has played, I know South Aiken's probably in a little bit more of a tougher region, obviously, because they have to go up against the likes of North Augusta and all those big time schools up there. I even so, I just think that was too close of a score if you're Bluffton, and especially which I just did not think it was going to be that close of a game against South Aiken. But I mean, credit to South Aiken for putting up a real fight and scaring the living daylights out of Bluffton. They know they can't squeak by here in the playoffs. They got to be on their best, their A game. And I don't think Bluffton was on their A game tonight, despite the win. So they really need to focus towards whoever they're playing next, which I believe is Darlington.
Beat May River tonight.
Darlington, I mean, granted, Darlington beat May River tonight, but I think the word is that KJ Ford was not playing tonight for May River. Right. So, it could have been a different story there, even with KJ Ford on being able to play. So, I think
I think it is a matter of
you got to be
you don't want to do it in the playoffs, but sometimes you will overlook that, especially when you got May River steering next to you in terms of team you can play. It's in the next round. Yeah, I mean, you see teams do all the time, and they'll play down. I mean, you don't want to do it, but you see teams have those situations where they play down their competition at times, and it's a wake up call. And thankfully, the Bluffton was able to just barely survive and move on to the next round. But I think that they'll be ready. I think they'll be more prepared, more ready to go on Saturday. I'm not sure what's on that game. We'll have to find out, but. They will be taking on a Darlington team that able to withstand what was still there, that May River squad, and it's just just wrapping up the season for May River. I mean, it was it's certainly a tale of two parts or two halves of their season.
It really was.
They just rolled early and even beat Bluffton early in the season, and then it just kind of withered away from there after Hilton beat them, and I think just unable to really. Gain momentum after what happened, and certainly the schedule played a factor, but it just seemed that they weren't really clicking the way they were earlier on in the year, and it kind of caught up to them in the end.
Yeah, for me, there are two reasons for the second half of May River. Obviously, probably three reasons. The first reason is I think their non-conference schedule was an issue. I don't think it was a very strong non-conference schedule. I mean, yes, they played Bluffton, but that's a region opponent. It's not really – I don't know if I would consider it a non-conference opponent. I just think their schedule before region play started was not great. Right. I think the second reason I think injuries kind of played late into the season. I think that really became a factor, obviously tonight with KJ Ford being out. And I think the third reason is they really relied a lot on their 3-point shooting. Yeah. And when it didn't go well, when they were cold from the three, it was really tough for them to pick out a win, So I think those three reasons for me is really the reason why May River couldn't get out of the first round tonight.
Yeah, and I think defenses adjusted to that too, and stopped giving them those open looks on the kickouts and started sagging more on them.
Don't get me wrong. I think we all agree. We've said it before that I think May River fundamentally is one of the most fundamentally sound teams when they're playing on their A game. They're a very tough team to beat, and their defense has been among some of the best defenses we've seen in our area this year. But, when things are not going right on the offense, especially from three, it gets very difficult for them to pick out a win. And I think once defense has figured out how to stop them from shooting three, I think that's really what led to the ultimate demise for May River.
It's all about adjusting. Can you find a way to adjust and do things that might, lessen the effects of the other team? And same thing if you're May River. Can you find a way to respond to that? And unfortunately, unable to do enough there. But I think that they're going to be right there. In the coming years, I think that program is really starting to gain a lot of just traction in terms of getting guys in there and getting some more depth around that team. But it's just that football hire I think is going to do big things just in terms of all sports around there. When you have I'm just excited to see how this new era of football will work and how that could spread across just the landscape of May River athletics. Because when you have a new football coach, you're ushering in a new era because football is such a huge. It is the
culture driver.
Dominates down here.
Yeah, definitely.
But Coach Livesey from Next Play Basketball was at the Bluffton game, and he noted on Instagram that Darlington might be a better matchup for Bluffton than South Aiken was. The other thing that I don't think we talked about in this space, but Fish brought it up last night, is that they had added the LaRue kids from Hilton Head Christian, and those guys were not eligible for the postseason by the new transfer rule because they transferred mid-season. They had to sit the postseason. So Max had been scoring at a decent clip for them.
Those are two assets that came off the bench in the second half of that season. So losing those two players is that could play into Bluffton a little bit, which might make it a little more difficult for them. I didn't even think about that.
Bluffton gets Darlington, which beat May River 38-36. Hilton Head had a dogfight with Aiken. You were there, Wes, and the Seahawks able to hang on, so they'll go to Wilson in round 2.
Good luck.
That was a little scary. They were up by 15 after the third quarter, and they cut it to 5 within like a span of 2 minutes after they hit a couple of shots. Hilton was kind of rattled, and they just started being a little frustrated and just tense on the offensive side. When that happens, it can snowball for you quickly, and they just weren't able to find anything for a couple of minutes in that fourth quarter. But Shane Brown was able to rally the guys to kind of reset, and then you look to your go-to players when you're in a tight spot in a playoff game, and all of a sudden it's a 3-point game, eventually became a 1-point game at another point in that fourth quarter. You go to your guy, and that guy is Tajay Wright, who was able to take over and put up 8 points in the fourth quarter, who all very important to hold off an Aiken team that got hot maybe a little too late, because they weren't really able to find any offensive consistency until much later on. When they did, they were able to get back in the game, but their shooting just came out a little too late for them. But give credit to Hilton Head for how they're able to weather that storm and advance, because that's obviously in the game is to find a way to do enough to move on. And just impressed by Derek Renishevsky, his composure late. Obviously quarterback, he's had playoff experience in another sport. I think that definitely is helpful and important for such a leader in a field court general like Renishevsky, although more of a field general. You talk about others in terms of leading the way on the court, and Tajay Wright just continues to do tremendous things out there. 22 points, Lyle scores. Trey Lewis, though, do not forget about him. He is in terms of the connection that he had with Wright in that second half. I mean, that was really a big driving force of how Hilton was able to hold off Aiken. And you just talk about Keita Smith and how he was able to come through and nail some big shots at important moments. So you really need everybody to step up in a fourth quarter where you're up 15 and all of a sudden you blink and it's a 1-point game. And it's a good result by that team in order to hang on to those. It's going to get a lot tougher because now they got to get a Wilson. And Wilson has certainly some talented pieces, including one very talented piece. Going to have to to worry about in Mountain, which blew out Bishop England 60-35.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this. I saw that coming with Wilson, and I'll tell you why. They probably, I think obviously Marcus, you and I both saw it last year. I was on call with Javon Livingston when they played Bluffton in the playoffs last year, and they have probably right now probably the number one junior basketball player in South Carolina, if not the number one basketball player in South Carolina, and I believe that's KJ Allen, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Josh Leonard's crazy good too.
Yeah, Josh Leonard.
Josh Leonard.
Here's the rundown. Here's the rundown for Wilson. 20-6 on the year, 11-1 in region. Their one loss came to Crestwood, 70-58 back on the 9th of January. They later beat Crestwood 79-51 on the 9th of February before beating Darlington to round out their year. They are a solid team. We saw them last year. They had a lot of really good pieces, and they really picked Bluffton apart last year. And a Bluffton team, that reminder, Harry Skinner, Carnell Warren, Aiden McCarthy, I'm trying to think who the senior was that came over from May River last year. What was his name? I'm drawing a blank. Who was that senior? Who was the senior? He was a dunk highlight every time.
No, he came from Colleton. May River. Yeah, I think he made a stop at May River too. Brandon White,
thank you. Yeah. And that was we thought that was one of the more dominant teams we had in our area last year, and Wilson picked them apart last year. So, well, I'm really excited for Hilton Head and that win they got, which was a great win over Aiken. Yeah, they have a very tough opponent on the road on Saturday at Wilson, and that is a decent sized drive up to Florence. So we'll see how they do against Wilson.
They're gonna have to shoot really well from 3-point range, and
they're gonna
really
have to play their A++ game.
It's gonna have
against
to take
Wilson.
a near perfect effort from them to pull off that upset. But we'll see what happens. Shane Brown certainly has shown that they can compete on the road, so looking forward to seeing how they do. But certainly it will be a very difficult assignment, having to go all the way up to a very, very good Aiken team coming up Saturday. By the way, speaking of a couple of the guys you mentioned, today the South Carolina Basketball Coach Association released their all-state teams for both boys and girls, and we have a couple of Lowco representatives on both the boys and the girls side, including the hero tonight for Bluffton, Harry Skinner, named that. Not surprising,
rightfully so.
Yeah. I mean, you would expect his name to be on there. Just terrific career with the basketball, and had some iconic shots, no bigger than the buzzer beater against Hilton Head, which I was at a couple of weeks ago. And then on top of that, Jaquane Solomon and Darius Brooks from Hampton County, who are looking like potential state title contenders, or at least trying to get to that Final Four. I think they have a great shot at going deep, at least. But yeah, both Solomon and Darius Brooks, not surprisingly, because those two, you kind of expect those two also to be there. And then on the girls,
pretty rare to get two. I mean,
doing the same team though, that's doing something. Yeah,
they both had impressive credentials for that to happen.
Yes, because there's only a few spots. I mean, there's only several spots, so it's got to be something special to get two guys on your team on one team from there. So that's a pretty big accomplishment for Hampton County. And speaking of Hampton County, Lyric Jones of Hampton County, 2A on the All-State team, joined by Buford's Shania Hayward, who's a breakout star for the Eagles this year, and they will be moving on to round 2 coming up on Friday. So, not a bad representation. Five Lowco studs, including 3 from Hampton County, which it's tremendous. Unfortunately, the girls fell tonight, I believe, in their first round matchup.
Yes, they did. Yeah. Followed to Philip Simmons, I believe.
Yep, on the road. Here's something crazy, guys. I was just looking up 4A scores to fill out the brackets here, and I went looking for the Brooklyn Casey Midland Valley score, other side of the bracket from all of our teams. But I found that with 13 seconds left in the game, there was a fire in the gym at Brooklyn Casey. Wow. They had to evacuate the gym, and Midland Valley was leading Brooklyn Casey 63-60 with 13.7 seconds left. Midland Valley ball. The game will resume tomorrow, possibly at Airport High School. So not sure the significance.
That is
the significance of the fire, but it was enough that they couldn't.
Especially like it happened right at the end of the game too. Like I mean,
right?
13. So then you go back and play, and you start the game with 13 seconds left. That is
crazy.
And it's like what, like 1 or 2 point games like that?
Yeah, it's a 3-point game, so it's
not
over.
You have a whole like almost just under 24 hours to figure out how the next 13 seconds are going to go for you guys.
Man, just talk about that drama. Wow, that is that's pretty crazy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like, you're not gonna get any sleep tonight.
It's both hilarious and also frightening that the fire took place in the gym.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, like seriously,
I hope everybody's okay.
Yeah,
that's also hilarious.
That's awesome.
It's also hilarious to think that you now have about just under 24 hours to figure out how the next 13 seconds are going to go for you.
No, but first and foremost, obviously, it's safety.
Yeah, it doesn't seem anyone was hurt or anything.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's. Good. I mean, that's obviously, you have to take precautions when there's a fire in.
I'm just trying to figure out how the fire started. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Whoa!
There's the smoke.
Fire extinguisher extravaganza.
Fire extinguisher there.
So maybe it was the balloon.
Sure.
Oh my.
Yeah. He
so says they're gonna restart tomorrow against
Zestos and then home.
You get some ice cream. There you go.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
that'll cool you down.
There's the evacuation in progress. It looks
wow.
That is great gym though. Fantastic looking gym.
Crazy stuff.
Does look great.
Yeah, that is a nice gym, man.
Apart from the fire that took place in there, fantastic looking gym.
That's
unfortunate. Follow up and see how that.
Went. How about that?
Wow, that's insane. Wow. There was another 4A team. I doubt we need to talk about it, but if I'm not mistaken, Beaufort was on the road on the upper state side tonight, were they not?
No, I don't think so. Bluffton girls got an at-large.
Didn't Beaufort get the last at-large? Am I tripping? I thought I saw Beaufort on the road at the 1 seed for the upper state.
I didn't think so. No, Lakewood was the lucky winner of that.
Oh, well, then I wonder.
Side.
Who did I see?
Bluffton went to the upper state in the girls.
That's it.
They got
trashed by West Side.
I think I saw 70-12.
Yeah, something like that. They got absolutely trashed.
Yeah.
73-12. Yeah, rough going. That's more than they scored against May River the other night.
I'm sorry, I confused it with Beaufort boys. That's my bad.
Yep, no worries. But
Beaufort girls with a big win.
Yes,
Beaufort girls rolled last night, 64-25 over Crestwood. They get Bishop England next because Bishop England beat May River 55-38. So they've already beaten them twice pretty handily. Yeah. So you would although the second one was competitive for most of the game. So not a cakewalk.
I'm not overly worried, but I'm a little bit worried just because I just have a feeling with that coaching staff that Bishop England has had.
You're not superstitious, but you're a little bit stitious.
Yes, correct. Absolutely.
Wilson blew out Colleton County and Westside blew out Bluffton, and Latta smoked Ridgeland in the girls 1A. So just Beaufort getting out of that, as well as Battery Creek and Hampton boys last night advancing, and it gets tough for both of them quickly. Battery Creek having to go to Fox Creek, and Hampton County hosting York Prep. So those will both be challenging games on Friday.
I'm currently looking at Battery Creek's next opponent, which of course is Fox Creek.
Very good.
And there is one thing we could compare it to, but I don't think we can actually. And the reason why is Hampton County played them back on the 15th, but the problem
they
didn't have everybody.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. They only lost by 4.
Yeah, they played really tough that game. In fact, that was the game that Coach James said, "Hey, we got something here. These boys can do it."
I would have figured. Other than that, I mean, you look at all the teams that Fox Creek played: 21-5 on the year, 8-1 in region. Their one loss came to Keenan, 73-66, but they came back to beat Keenan 65-49 on the 13th. So I just Battery Creek I think can put up a fight against Fox Creek, but this is going to be one. This could be a very good ball game if Battery Creek shows up and plays their best. I think it could be a really good game, and I think any team could win it.
All right, you heard it here first from Max. Either team could win that game.
I really do believe.
I think one or the other will almost certainly take that one.
Well, yes, of course. But I think for me, just because of who Battery Creek played this year in their region with ODub and North Charleston, I think they have enough of a challenge throughout the region play that I think they can, if they play their best game, I think they can actually make this close and possibly beat Fox Creek.
Yeah, I think they've got a shot. Certainly.
Yeah, but that Marlboro County game, I don't know how good Marlboro County was this year, but that one kind of scares you a little bit if you're Battery Creek.
Yeah, I think certainly they would have liked to have been a little more convincing in that one, but you know, a win is a win is a win at this time of year, and you just pick up the pieces and go on to the next one. And you know, it's a quick turnaround. You don't really have time to scout. You don't you don't know who you're getting.
Pick up whatever film you can, boys, and get yourselves prepared.
Yeah. So I'm not terribly concerned. I mean, win or lose, it's going to be fine. They're not expected to win that game, so they're kind of playing with house money at this point. And, excuse me. And but I expect them to compete. They're definitely on the upswing over there. The creek's on the rise, as they be saying.
Yes, for sure.
Come on, Newberry. Sorry, I'm playing around with brackets here, trying to see what all we got. 3A boys, it's Orangeburg and Newberry on the top.
Ooh.
And then I don't see a score for Keenan North Charleston, but
which, by the way, Newberry comes out of that same region as Fox Creek, if I'm not mistaken.
That checks out. Fox Creek, Battery Creek, and Loris Oceanside. So, yeah, that'll be a good matchup.
That should be good.
Obviously, Creek's beaten Oceanside once, so you know, they're not afraid of the big bad wolf.
They can do it again.
And they beat Orangeburg once, and those teams are supposed.
And it's not like the second time they played Oceanside it was a blowout either. Like, it was a pretty decently competitive game up until probably the fourth quarter or so.
Yeah, and even then it ended up, I think, an 11-point game or a 12-point game.
Yeah, like know, they're not scared.
And they won the overtime game by 13. So and then tonight we talked about
the other question I had. So obviously we were discussing that we were wondering why Battery Creek was a number 3 in the region. Did we ever get confirmation as to why?
No, I mean it was the tiebreaker, but I don't know precisely what the tiebreaker was.
Okay.
I do know that whatever the interpretation of it was not what CJ thought it was going to be. Which is what it is. That doesn't.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Mean it was wrong or anything. It's just what his interpretation was. I know one thing that's always confusing with those deals is when you have a 3-way tie, there's always the question of which tie do you break first.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And so sometimes people get confused because they're trying to break all 3 ties at once, and that's not how it works.
The 3-way tie,
you break the one tie first, and then you break
the other one. So if a team is eliminated, then you start again with 2 teams. But
correct. Yeah,
and that will throw people off from time to time
from the get-go.
Yeah.
Oh shoot. I just put those in the wrong place. Trying to make more brackets here. But yeah, we talked about all tonight's games, I guess. With Bluffton advancing by 1, Hilton Head by 7, and Darlington taking down Bay River by 2.
We even announced our sponsors. I
did them at the top.
Okay,
and then Hardyville 65-51 over Johnsonville. Carvers Bay taking out Ridgeland. So it'll be Hardyville going to Carvers Bay in 1A. And then the only score we're missing from tonight is Battery Creek girls at Fox Creek, which I would guess didn't go our way based on the seeds, but I haven't found that score yet. And then Philip Simmons beat Hampton County girls 52-38, and Marion beat Whale Branch girls 50-41. So we're iced out of the 2A girls bracket now. One less thing to worry about. That's one less thing to worry about. That's Hampton, that's Hamilton, by the way.
Yes, indeed.
I was just thinking about Hamilton before this.
I think about Hamilton more than I should probably admit, but those songs live in my head. But I'm playing around with brackets. So what do you got, boys, want to talk about?
We're talking about the Sand Sharks. We had their USCB.
Oh yeah, the Sand Sharks.
Yeah. Do we really want to talk about it? Or?
No,
the women were cool, but the dudes were
men
bummer.
on the other hand. Yeah.
Well, we'll get to see the women in March in the Cove. That'll be fun.
For sure. They've clinched it now, as you pointed out last night, confirming my math. The Sand Shark women are guaranteed of a first-round game in the Peach Belt Conference tournament at home on March 4th. USCB men still could get there, but and still are in position for that.
Yeah, they're still in position, but now they've dropped 3 in a row, and it's just a rough stretch.
Yeah, it's been.
And they had a chance to win. They had a chance to win last night, no doubt. They were in it until those last few minutes, and Lander kind of rolled the home stretch, and just wasn't enough for. It just felt like maybe it just seemed like last year. Every time I needed to hit a big three, they hit a big three down the stretch, and it felt like this game they just didn't go down. The shots that went down last year in games like this just didn't go down.
Yep, I feel you. Definitely felt that way last night. Like in the first half, they were going down. Kilminster made a couple in the first half to kind of keep them in it, and it felt like, I mean, even up. I remember they were down by like 4 with 4 minutes left or something, and I thought, well, they're still going to win this thing, and just didn't happen. Like you said, the magic that happened so many times last year just wasn't quite there last night, and hopefully they can recapture it, because
I mean, they got to turn right back around and play at Flagler tomorrow, and that's no easy place to play either. There's there's a game last year they played. They had a chance to win, they couldn't. So maybe they'll find a way to bounce back. But that's another tough place to play as they get ready for only going like, I believe 3 more games left. Yeah, 3 more games left. You got Flagler, Clayton State, which you should get that one, or else we have some big problems. And then North Georgia, which is a tough one on the road. So, I mean, if you go 2-1, your last 3, I think that gives you a shot to get a top 4 spot. If you go 3-0, you'll be there for sure. North Georgia might be a big one because they're right below you. So I think if you beat North Georgia, you should be in good shape, at least securing the top 4. If you beat Clayton State as well, you'd love to find a way to beat Flagler as well. You want to stop the skid. You've lost 3 in a row, especially 3 in a row at home. But
here's the other thing: they're sitting now in a spot that it's almost as if they need to win out to even to
let's
secure.
See, where are they now? They're third. They're 11-6.
Yeah, but they're
North Georgia
Georgia
College. They still have a game in hand. They've only played 16. USCB has played 17, so they still have a game in hand.
True, but that's too close for comfort if you're USCB. Like I think and I think those teams,
ideally you want to win out, and
of course. But I think for me, after that Georgia Southwestern game on Saturday, which of course I was at, I think. After that one, I just like they need to figure some things out, because while Georgia Southwestern's a very good team, and obviously we know how competitive it can be in this Peach Belt Conference, I think after that one I was a little disappointed. Because I was expecting them to play a little bit better of a game as a team, and then B, the refs, man, the refs were really starting to make me angry in that game. But that's a whole nother discussion to be had for another time. But I think. Obviously, Lander's an incredibly talented team, and we've seen what they've done so far this season. They've been very strong. So I expected I expected USCB to put up a fight, but I just had a feeling in the back of my mind that Lander might be the better team and probably is. But I think USCB, if they want to get a first round playoff game, for me, how many games do they have remaining? Was it 3?
3 games left. They're 11-6 at Flagler, home to Clayton State, which is
realistically,
you probably got to win 2.
Yeah, I was going to say
Georgia.
Realistically, you might want to win 2 out of the next 3.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I think the one that looms North Georgia's, although Flagler's 2 games. Well, there's 9-7. So once again, they still have 4 more games.
That's true. Which ones you win matters too.
What was the score we had the last time against Flagler?
Let's see. The first game that we played Flagler,
I think we handled
83-82 in overtime. That was the Kilminster.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
You're right.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's doable, and it definitely is doable to win the next 2 of 3. So, but that is a very tough doable. Like it's extremely tough against North Georgia and a Flagler team that pushed us to the limits the last time we faced them. So, yeah, that should be interesting. And then, of course, I think what was the other game? Georgia? It's not Georgia College. Who is it? Clayton State.
Yeah, Clayton State's the last home game.
Well, I think you have. I mean, obviously Clayton. Again, Peach Belt very competitive, but I think you have a win there in Clayton State.
And then
clearly.
I mean, also how important that game at Augusta was that you won that one. You were down that. Like every game means so much, and so sometimes you win them. You think you're going to lose. You win them. Sometimes you think you win. You lose. But I think right now you're still in a decent spot. I mean, this is a competitive conference, and you can expect to be top of the league in a conference that you'd love to be. But it's challenging. And
the positive out
only one team can finish first.
The positive is that they're considered they are.
How are they in their at-large? Like, do they have a shot in terms of an at-large bid at this point?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they've lost 3 in a row, which could be.
I think they're there. I think for me, if they win 2 of the next 3 going into the tournament, I think they have to make the semifinals for me to see them as a potential at-large bid for the NCAA tournament. I
don't know enough to know what
because I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the same amount of teams in Division 2 as it would be in Division 1. Is that correct?
No, I believe it's only 32.
Really? I think that's right. I think it's 32.
Is it 32?
I'm pretty sure it's
all right. So then I think in that way, I don't think it would be the semifinals. I think they would need to make the finals at least, especially with the record they have right now. For me to say that they can be in as an at-large
in terms of how that bracket is.
I don't even think you can say that
or anything
unless you've done a whole lot of research. I don't know what that looks like.
Well, I think it's based for me. I think it's based off of less teams in the NCAA tournament.
Someone mentioned something like they were a 5 seed at some someone said that.
Yeah, at one point that's what somebody on Twitter who was doing YouTube bracketology had.
Yeah,
they dropped it. So they dropped a couple of games. So
they've dropped a couple since that. So I think for me, I think it's based on record. I think it's strength of schedule, and then I also think it's based on where they finish in the conference this year. So especially in the conference tournament. Yeah. So I think
that's important.
Based off of those 3 things, I think.
And how good is the
semis? If they can make it to the semis, I think they have a shot. But I think it's more comfortable to get an at-large if I'm just
not sure how good the Peach Belt is.
Right, relative to the other leagues.
There are any top 25 teams in the Peach Belt right now.
Yeah, that's the problem. That is the big problem. By the way, there's no Peach Belt team receiving votes.
That's one of those things where you see in Division 1 conferences where you see everybody beating up on each other. And everybody moves their standings down in terms of the bracketology, or just just in terms of the strength of the conference, because everybody's beating each other. So you don't have
the crazy thing is 2 weeks ago North Georgia was ranked in the top 25 and Lander was receiving votes. Now with how competitive it is in the Peach Belt Conference, not a single team out of the Peach Belt Conference has received any votes for the NCAA top 25. So I totally agree with Wes on that. The competitiveness can also, while it's great to watch and very exciting, it also can hurt you as not only as a team but as a conference trying to get teams into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. I mean, you can beat each other up. Although, yeah, I don't know that the respect is there this year to get a whole bunch of teams. So you got to finish out strong. Definitely. You
I
can't
like I said,
fool
I
around.
think they would if USCB wanted to make an NCAA tournament just off of those factors. Again, I think they would have to get to the conference championship game to
Like
at
I
least
said, I'm not
either
qualified to
win the
really know
conference
what
or
I'm
get
not
an at-large
qualified to
bid.
say.
I'm not qualified to know what exactly in terms of the bracketology on
Yeah.
what they.
I
I'm not
haven't
either,
studied.
but
on the bubble or
No,
all
you're
that.
not.
I'm not either, but I think for me, that's my opinion on where I think USCB would need to finish to have a shot.
Yeah. Well, certainly they need to do some work
Yeah.
after this little
Yep.
stretch here.
But how about the women though? How about the women?
Women are in. They're
They
cooking.
didn't have a shot.
Yeah.
They
No.
definitely have a shot.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be a top 4 seed. They clinched it with the win on Monday, and it seems like once again they came back from being down early in the game, and then they just kind of hit cruise control for a big part of the end of that ball game once they got going. And it's just good to see. I mean, Janiah Hayward, absolute beast in several areas, 10 rebounds, 14 points, a
Yeah.
double-double. But Brie Pelot, her defensive prowess, another 5 blocks.
Wow.
She is
13 in the last 2 games.
13 2 games. That is just
That's
spectacular
insane.
stuff.
Nuts.
Lydia's taken over in big spots when they've needed her to. You're just Lydia and Tanaya. I mean, those two can take over a game at any point, and then the connection between those two. It's really fun to watch. They're really coming into their own this year. Sammy's been a great supporting piece. She hit 2 threes, 2 for 4. She was only one attempted 3 other than Ellie Lewis, who missed well for 1, but nobody else shot a 3, which is interesting. But
Yeah,
I
they
just
they
love
don't do a lot of that.
they don't shoot many threes. I mean,
No.
they're
Never have,
taking
really.
they're taking good percentage shots when they're like close to the hoop, which is what you want to do. And I think they're getting the most out of who they have. I mean, Sharon Versip in this 3rd year, we're starting to see the fruits of the makings of what we see now. Just the development is starting to come full circle for this, and Bardnero has been a great inclusion to the puzzle. It
Absolutely.
is the piece of the puzzle, of course. Jigsaw, the big as we call her, Janiyah Bowman. She's become a star. She can fly. She can fly on the court and just take it over, and unstoppable at some points in the game when she finds that first step. She's authoritative. She's going to score when she wants to. That's what makes her so dangerous. And I just really like and how they play defense. I mean, I think that as a whole, they've been playing better defensively recently, and that's great to see. And just the composure of the resolve. Yeah, we can go down around a game, but we know that we can fight back, and that's really important now.
Yeah.
You wish you could have had a better fight against Columbus State, but that's a very good Columbus State team. You might see them again, which you hope to see in a few weeks. And I mean, this is far above and beyond any expectations from what anyone had with this team this year of where they are.
Hey, I have a question. If I'm remembering correctly, Justin, you and I were on a call for the women's game against Lenore Ryan, correct?
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. We did lose that game. If I'm
lost by 4, 71-67.
Yeah, it's a close
By
game.
the way, speaking of which, I'm looking at the current women's basketball rankings for top 25. Guess who's in the top 25 right now? Lenore Ryan.
Yes, Lenore Ryan.
Yeah, 18-4. By the way, USCB 17-9 on the year, and Lenore Ryan's 18-4. So I mean, look,
and they lost 3 games. They lost 3 games before that Thanksgiving Classic they went to, where they just looking at what they've done before. I mean, let's see, they lost like 2 games in January, then they had like a month-long winning streak, and they lost to Columbus State. So just this conference run has been.
I would say right now, if they had played a little better in non-conference play, which doesn't really matter, but if they would have played a little bit better in non-conference play, I'd guarantee that we'd be talking about USCB either receiving votes for the top 25
and the games they lost in conference play to Augusta, they lost by 6, still only 2 possessions. They lost by 5 to Clayton State. Their biggest loss was the one they had that just recently home against Columbus State. This is the return game, which
speaking of which, Columbus State's 16th in the last poll, which was
that's a very good team. And USCB
it is 64 teams to get in. It's 8.
Yeah, that's what I
regions.
thought.
It's 8 team regions
that,
instead of
that
4.
changes my
right.
thought
So what
process
happens
for the boys,
is they have instead of a Final Four where you have like a final location of Final Four, it's for the Final 8. They call it the Elite 8. That's how they do it.
USCB women not making the cut currently as of Sunday.
Is this?
Let me look here.
Right here.
Yeah, this is Inkblot Sports. But I'm trying to see if anybody or who from the Peach is in Columbus State, presumably.
I would assume they would be in.
They would probably be the only team.
Yeah, they're a 3 seed.
Unless someone steals
they're a
the
3 seed. North Georgia's a 7.
What?
Okay, so North Georgia. North Georgia's in that one.
Looks like
How is North Georgia? North Georgia's 16-10 on the year.
I'm just telling you what Inkblot Sports says.
It's one
USCB now at 7.
So USCB 17-9, North Georgia 16-10.
16-10.
USCB men they have as a 7 seed and traveling to Lenore-Ryan to open.
Okay. Actually, that may change my thoughts a little bit. If they finish at least in the semifinals, I think they may have a shot.
You still have
to probably need to win 2 out of the last 3.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You have
at least.
Let's see, Flagler.
Mostly because Flagler or Clayton State would be bad losses.
Flagler's not good. Clayton State's not good. North Georgia's decent. North Georgia, that would be a good road win. Like obviously,
they have North. I assume they have North Georgia's men's team in those projections.
They do.
North Georgia's going to be top 4 as well.
They've only got Lander and USCBN right now.
Okay, that's fair.
So USCB is in the bracket. They're
Columbus State as well. Sorry, Columbus State.
Yeah, I was about to say Columbus State's got to be in that conversation.
Where is USCB men? Are they projected in the field?
They've got them as a 7. Yeah,
a 7 seed
going to Lenore-Ryan in the round.
All right, so
that's interesting.
Okay, so that appears to be they're in pretty good, pretty decent shape.
The women's team's not being even considered. That's interesting.
Well,
I mean, they might be
by Inkblot Sports on Twitter. Like, there's nothing official.
You can never trust.
I get that.
Do you trust one bracketologist that you see saying, "Okay, well, this is where they're"? No. You can't just trust one
I get that.
guy.
I understand that.
That's why you have like 50 different people doing bracketology to combine them together.
I'm sure this guy's probably good at it, but
I mean, look,
I totally get that.
Right. I mean, it makes sense, but
there's the women's. See, here's our little region down here.
Yeah,
they do it by
I'm not
region,
sure what the selection committee will do. I'm not sure what.
No, it's up to them. It's definitely up to them. But I think USCB women's has enough of a chance to.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they're going to need to finish strong too, and they're going to need to do some damage in the tournament. I mean, if they get to the championship game.
I think that's
Then they kind of if they finish second in the standings and they make the championship game, then it's kind of hard to put anybody in over them other than Columbus State.
Yeah.
So then they would probably bump somebody out.
Yeah, even as like a 7 seed, I don't think it's I agree.
But this person may also be predicting, like if you're truly doing bracketology, you're trying to predict what's going to happen from here to there. So they may be projecting that USCB is going to lose at North Georgia, and that's why they have North Georgia in.
And that's a lot of Division II teams to discuss around too. So I totally get that. Yeah. No, I'm not mad. I just think, I think I'm a little worried about the men's team, just how they've played the last couple games. I'm a little worried, but I think they can win the next 2 out of 3. 3 games. I definitely think there's a very good possibility there, but I would like to see them beat North Georgia on the road. I think that would strengthen their, their reputation and their, strength of schedule this season, being that they've already beaten them once, but I think beating North Georgia would be great for them as they head into the tournament.
Yeah, very important. Probably another bubble team there, so you don't want to give one up to them.
Yeah.
Carl! There's curling.
Are you watching curling right now? Is it women's
it's on my TV. It's mesmerizing. It's the men. The
Okay.
USA versus Italy. I'm sure it
Once
happened
again, I will
hours
not
ago.
spoil.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Hey,
I just
by the
like
way,
to watch
speaking of,
them.
if you, I like watching curling. It's fun.
I love it. I adore
Yeah.
it. Every 4 years, I get into it.
Yeah,
I want to try it real bad.
I feel like they're the last couple of years, ever since they won in 18, when the Schuster's team won. I feel like they definitely upped the coverage. I think more people
Yeah,
have
it'd be
just been into
fun.
it since the year they
Well,
won gold. I think there's a lot more.
Both the
Oh,
men's
yeah.
and women's teams are doing pretty good right now, actually. So
Yep, and mixed already won silver. So
Yeah.
I like it when I'm like, oh, nice shot. And then the announcers are like, oh, that was his worst shot of the weekend. And you're like, what?
yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, it's like golf, it's slow
Right.
paced, but it's very analytical and
There's a
but-
lot going on. I
Any-
did
anyway,
actually.
that's you know,
A few years
So
back, I got
let's
hooked on an
meander back
online
to
curling game,
let's meander back
and
to some
that got me
hoops.
going. Well,
Yeah.
let's meander back to about getting out of here because we've
Yeah, it
covered
is
everything
almost a
that's
half
going
an hour
on. It's
already.
been 51 minutes, so we'll give a shout out to the rest
You're
of our
right.
sponsors. We got
You're
Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus, and a great place for seafood sunsets and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. Under the Bus coming at you Thursday night, 7 o'clock. You want that, Wes? You want that? But Thursday night, 7 o'clock, we got Under the Bus. Maybe we'll get Worldwide West to take the controls for that one and check it out. Presented by Hudson's Seafood House on the Docks. Twinge and Twombly are our personal injury attorney friends over in Beaufort. They got a rare name. They provide remarkable service at Twinge and Twombly. HHI Windows and Doors will improve your view of the Loco. That's our friend Coach Barron from Hilton Head Prep. Hung up his whistle and focused on a new kind of screens at HHI Windows and Doors. Reverence Wrestling Club is our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. And we told you the other night about 65 Loco wrestlers going to the state tournament in Florence this weekend. Excited to be taking 6 of them up there myself. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. And those are our sponsors for Lowco Sports, and we welcome all sponsors. Get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. Add you to the Lowco Booster Club, or maybe even a little higher package up the list there, and keep us going here at Lowco Sports. But that brings us to our parting thoughts. Marcus Walsh, what do you got, buddy?
Really, only thing I have tonight, honestly, is that I went to Hilton Head Prep and saw 2.5 quarters of the girls' game, and it started off. It was competitive. The shots weren't going down really for either team between them and Palmetto Christian, and then Palmetto Christian started hitting their shots, and it was a tough one for Hilton Head Prep. They were down 39-7 when I left, with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Haven't been able to track a final score of that, but I have to give those girls a lot of credit. I know it's been a really tough year for them in certain regards. And I saw him certainly a few times. Saw him against Bluffton early on in January. It was the first broadcast that we had on WHHI. But a lot of really talented girls on that basketball team, and they have a grit and a moxie to them that you may not see, especially in some of the struggling times. So I just wanted to give them a shout out, and obviously new year, new coach, and Johnny Campbell transition for sure, but they are definitely going to be a team, as long as they stick together, that is going to be definitely in the mix, I think, to make some things happen, at least play some spoiler roles. So I wanted to give some good juju to the girls of Hilton Head Prep. It was a pleasure seeing you a few times this year for sure. And all the best to you guys down the line for sure.
Outstanding. Yeah, Johnny Campbell, good to see him at a lot of USCB games this year supporting
Yes.
Courtney. Always cool.
No doubt.
Wes, what do you got, buddy? You're down there in the right-hand corner. I'll let you go next.
We missed a couple things that happened at USCB today. Baseball and
Yeah,
softball
I was
were in
just seeing
action.
that.
Yeah. The softball team went 1-1. They 10-0 win in game 1 over the University of Mount Olive. They've been playing a lot recently. They're going to play a lot
Pickle
more
people.
this weekend. Yeah. But Taylor Ching, big performance for her. 5 RBIs, 3 for 3. Emma Reynolds with a home run, Emma Brinkman with double. So their offense back on track after just a rough Saturday where they just couldn't get going at all. So, or at least enough. But Madison Murphy, 3-hitter, give just 3 hits and a 5-inning run roll win. So back on track there. Lost the second game 5-4. They almost came back. They scored 3 in the 7th, just fell short. But still a solid effort there to fight hard in that second game, and the solid effort as well by Cassie Brundage, although did give up some runs in the middle innings, but still only 1-run loss. You'll take good effort on the road, and I'm excited to see what they do this week. And you got a lot of softball coming. A lot. We got they have another tournament. They're welcoming 4 teams in. They got doubleheader Friday, doubleheader for Saturday, and doubleheader Sunday. They're taking on UNC Pembroke, Johnson C. Smith, and Virginia Union. So a 4-team tournament at Richard Gray Sports Complex. I'm not sure if I'll be on baseball or softball. I'll be calling one of those 2 teams this weekend, which would be a fun weekend of both over in Hardyville. Both will be home over the weekend. Of course, baseball also home in their first conference series against Augusta. And man, they had to go up against a tough team today. Lenore Ryan, 21-6. They were able to score a touchdown.
Yeah, number 5 team in all of Division II baseball.
Yeah. Actually, they actually had the lead through 4 innings. They were up 4-2. Actually,
wow.
Yeah, they were up 4-2, and then they go up 4 in the 5th, 5 in the 6th, 9 in the 7th. So they were in this game. They had a lead. Through.
It gives me hope.
That is certainly Luke Doty had a home run in the 3rd. He had a grand slam a couple games ago. He has been a great spark plug so far. It's been fun to see what he has done. Andrew Walters has been having a hot bat. He had a double. Raider McIntyre has gotten a nice look throughout this season. He had a nice extra base hit. So the offense, I think, is starting to excite me. The worry I still have is the pitching. Are you able to? I mean, just the free passes and mistakes and just the unforced errors need to.
There ain't enough of that to go around.
Yeah, the other thing for me is I think the offense was there last year. I think
it's taking a step forward this year. I think it's
it's definitely taking a step forward. It's the pitching. I think that was my issue last year and definitely an issue right now.
No doubt. I only called 1 series of theirs last year, but the inability to finish innings and just have runners on base and not being able to make the big pitch when you needed it, that was their problem a year ago. And it sounds like it's so far so good.
I think they have a solid starting rotation. I think my biggest worry is more so the bullpen. If we're going in terms of
Navarro did give up 5 earned runs through 4 2/3. He started off well, but the bullpen was a big concern. That kind of put them far out and away from this
definitely
game.
behind the 8 ball. But
so
again, Lenore Ryan, number 5 team in the country.
Yeah, that's
at
least you competed for 4.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's a positive. If you had a lead at one point against that team, that's a positive in every way, shape, and form.
They're up 4-2 through 4, and then Lenore Ryan took over and started in the 5th. So you take some positives there with how you played for beginning of the game, and you move on from there. So. It's exciting. Hopefully they can take some positives from there as they go into a series at home against Augusta, starting on Friday, 6:00, first pitch.
Nice.
Very cool. All right. Max Raj, you got a parting thought?
I got 2. The first one is, speaking of baseball, high school baseball season has officially begun for us, gentlemen, because yesterday Hilton Head Christian Academy played their first game. Just not here. Actually, in fact, they were down in Florida, taking on Northside Christian yesterday. By the way, Northside Christian was 23-10 last year in Florida baseball, and got to the playoffs. I believe they were in the 2nd or 3rd round of their division playoffs this past season. So a very solid Northside Christian team. Hilton Head Christian only lost by 3 yesterday, so a 3-0 game. So very. I mean, granted, despite the loss, it's a good sign for Hilton Head Christian. They got another game tomorrow against Hollins out of St. Petersburg, Florida, and then they will be back in South Carolina on the 24th to take on Northwood Academy and really officially start their South Carolina baseball season. So South Carolina high school baseball season is officially underway, gentlemen, which is crazy to think about, but it is. And then the other thing I wanted to mention, obviously, I'm sure some of you may have heard that University of North Carolina's star player for the basketball team, Caleb Wilson, might very well be out, possibly for the rest of the regular season into the ACC tournament with a broken hand. And the results of that are starting to show tonight. North Carolina taking on NC State. Final score: NC State 82, North Carolina 58.
Will Wade not happy tonight.
Oh boy, the Will Wade experience.
And without Caleb Wilson, I think North Carolina is a good team, but Caleb Wilson's been their star player and really the dominant force for them this year. And without him for the rest of the season, might not be back until maybe the NCAA tournament if they make it in, which they probably should. They will. They will. And I think without him, it's going to be a rough road through not only the rest of the regular season, but of course the ACC tournament. One of the teams they have yet to play this season is Clemson, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is still on their schedule in their last stretch of the ACC regular season play.
And this season, it's I'm excited because I feel like there are a couple of teams that have a chance to really win this tournament. I mean, you look at Duke and what they've been able to do, but I mean, Clemson's right there. Virginia, Miami, and then don't count out Will Wade in the NC State Wolfpack after what they did.
Hey, NC State has beaten two ranked teams now this month. They beat Clemson earlier this month, and they beat North Carolina tonight. Both teams ranked inside the top 20. So, I mean, definitely don't.
I mean, I'm sure they'll have to vacate both those wins later at some point, but the Will Wade experience, as you said, Wes,
that's very
it's not
true.
complete until you're put on sanctions and he leaves to go somewhere else.
But I would say I definitely agree with Wes. There are quite a few teams that are going to be very competitive, and I think that's going to make the ACC tournament really fun to watch. That Virginia team, dude, is absolutely fantastic team. I was not expecting them to be on the list of ACC teams to be competitive in ACC play this year, but Virginia definitely has been. And has been a really strong team this year. Same with Clemson. Obviously, they lost last Saturday to Duke out in Cameron Indoor, which granted that was going to happen one way or another, being that place is absolutely terrifying if you're the opposing team. So, but I think I agree with Wes. Miami, Virginia, Clemson. I think Louisville could be in that conversation as well, alongside NC State and of course North Carolina. All those teams are going to be fighting for it.
You talk about hostile environments. The student section at the Cove last night was out of pocket.
Oh, man.
They were out of pocket. They were trolling the Lander bench, the coach. And I mean, to their credit, it was because they were talking back that they kept talking. But man, there was a lot of talking going on last night.
Lander showed up though. That was the problem.
Yeah, they did. They backed it up, and then Fritzl was waving goodbye to him afterwards. It was it was chippy.
It's fierce competition.
I got some breaking news, late breaking news. 1 minute ago on Instagram. JP, well, now it's 4 minutes ago. It was 1 minute ago when I saw it. JP2 girls won the region championship, the tournament championship tonight over Wilson Hall, 57-49.
Nice.
Ellie Heathcott with 22 points and 24 rebounds.
What?
Wow.
Jeez.
She was named the tournament MVP.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't think that was going to happen.
Lily Termini and Lauren Majorkowitz each made the all-tournament team. Termini had 14 tonight. Majorkowitz 13.
Man, I'll tell you what. I don't want to play this team in 4A if I'm a coach of another team. They're dangerous.
Yeah, man.
Dangerous.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And then in other JP2 news, Ayla Reynolds, girls soccer star, has committed to College of Charleston. So,
very nice.
Congratulations to her as well.
I saw College Charleston beat Coastal Carolina baseball today. Who's ranked 6th in the country? Yeah,
that's
all
nice.
that 4-3.
Wow, that's a big time.
And I
Yeah,
think,
Yeah, congratulations. That's big time playing for a D1 school.
yeah,
Charleston.
man.
It's a great
That's
place
awesome.
to play. It's a nice Charleston's awesome. It's a nice place to
It's such a beautiful
college.
campus.
Yeah, great place to go to school. So yeah, there you go.
I guess that's your parting thought, or you have
That's
anything else?
those are my parting thoughts.
There
Oh,
you
and then
go.
one other parting thought. Congrats to Miami, Ohio, still undefeated.
Defeated,
26-0
yeah.
how about it?
It's
after the win tonight. The Red
My
Hawks.
uncle is
Red
going.
Hawks.
My
Red
uncle
Hawks
is
are
going crazy
dominating.
probably right now because he's a graduate of Miami of Ohio,
Oh.
so he is
My
loving
wife is
every
a
bit of it right
one-year
now.
alum.
Where do
She
you
went
think
for
they're
her
going to get
freshman year and then came home.
tournament? Yeah.
But I do know a
I
lot
wanted
of
to
people.
see where they're going to be end up in terms of their seed in the tournament.
Right, because they're
26.
top 25
ranked.
now. Yeah, they're number
Yeah.
22 right
They're
now.
they're top 25. They're 84 in Ken Palm, but I mean,
Here's
how
the question
do you?
though: if their one loss comes into their tournament play, do they not get a bid? That's
I
the
think
question
I
have.
think they will because there's enough good
They
teams in that
should.
conference that
Okay.
like I think they still will. But I mean, if they don't win the league, then they're going to be, like
What
a
do you do
12
with them?
seed
Right,
probably.
being
But
at large.
they're probably going to hose them and put them in an 8-9 situation or something.
We'll put them in the
Yeah.
first
Usually
or
what they
something like that. I
do.
don't know.
Which I hate. I think that's ridiculous.
I
but
know. Well, or they'll put them in a 12-5 or
6-11.
but they'll be the 5 and the mid-major will be the 12. Like mid on
Yeah.
mid crime.
Yeah.
They love to do that to you.
Yeah.
But
Fair.
yeah, we'll see.
it's going to
But,
be that time of year, fellas.
those
I'm
these
excited.
quality
tournaments,
squad.
you never know. It's very like I mean, we'll see how far they can take it, how far they can stay unbeaten.
Yeah.
But it's very possible
I
that
can't-
I mean,
I
I'm
can't
not
wait.
They got in a little
Why
trouble
Mac
tonight at
would be-
UMass, but they were able to pull
Yeah.
away.
UMass no longer in the Atlantic 10. They're in the MAC.
No,
now.
they're in the
Yep.
MAC.
Yep.
In the MAC.
Are they?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
First
yeah,
year
that's
in the
right.
MAC.
You know,
and
the
they're
best-
making a little noise.
I can't wait till selection Sunday comes around for
Akron's good this year.
man.
They could
Akron's
knock them out.
tough.
Yep.
Akron's
Yeah.
only loss in league is to Miami. And
Yeah.
then Kent State's pretty good too.
Kent State's good. Yeah.
The Golden Flash.
It'll be fun.
Right.
Yeah, look out for the Jerome. If you've never been in the Jerome, you should get in that. That's a great contest. It does all the conference tournaments, and you pick all the
that's
conference
right.
tournament winners. Yeah,
Yeah.
send it in, Jerome. It's named after that. I've got the
Ian
if it's
Bill
still
Raptor.
running, I've got the
Vanna
entry
White thing too.
details. Well, that one has fallen by the wayside this year, unfortunately.
okay.
Mr. Guerin will not be able to run the Vanna this year.
No.
The famed
Oh.
dame of shame, the framed dame of shame.
Dang.
But I
right.
did get to put that up one year. But
Yeah.
good show tonight, boys. Everybody knows who won tonight
Oh.
on the Loco hoop scene and who's going on in the playoffs and what's going on tomorrow night. Well, really, not a whole lot tomorrow night. USCB on
there's
the road.
really
at
not much until
Flagler.
Friday. There's very little. I mean, we could if you want to do a
Quiet.
USCB watch party or something.
Yeah, probably
tomorrow.
not. Probably not necessary.
All
but
right. So then I guess we'll be back on Friday for Friday or Saturday because there's nothing going on.
Probably a
Thursday.
Friday night show.
Yeah, we'll have a lot. We'll have a lot Friday, and then a lot to talk about Saturday. To be honest, because we'll have
Yep.
USCB
State
baseball
wrestling.
and softball as well as
Saturday is going to be a super Saturday. We gotta.
Yeah, we'll have state wrestling champs to crown. We'll have a lot of
NCAA
stuff going on.
basketball to talk about. All of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about that. We don't really need to talk about
Sorry,
that.
So
let me rephrase. NCAA Division II basketball.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. That'll work. All right, boys. Good stuff. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks to all of you for showing up to listen or watch and caring about sports in the Low Country as much as we do. We appreciate you, and we're going to keep showing up as long as you do. So be sure to check us out later on this week on the Loco Media YouTube channel. For Marcus Walsh, Wes Kerr, and Max Araj, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Loco.